guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Ken, and today we're here to talk about and review The Last of Us, Episode 4, and the title is Please Hold to My Hand. Very strange title.
I'm pretty convinced at this point that a caveman is writing the titles of the episode, because last week it was long time.
Long time. And now it's Please Hold to My Hand. Not Please Hold My Hand. It's Please Hold to My Hand.
Yeah, like English people out there, please help me make sense of this title.
I'm sure there's a bunch of people that play the game. They're like, it totally makes sense, in the context of the game. Maybe they say in the game. I don't know.
Maybe so.
But we're going to talk about episode 4, our thoughts on it. And, we want to know your thoughts in the comment section below if you watched episode 4 as well. This is going to be a full spoiler review, as always. So if you haven't seen it, you might not want to check this out yet. But also be sure to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already.
Like the video.
Like she said. And where do you want to start with this episode? Did you enjoy it?
Well, so hold on. Before we get started, I have a joke for you.
Oh, you have a joke?
I have a joke.
Okay, what's the joke?
So I spent all night wondering where the sun went.
Oh, really?
But then it dawned on me.
I don't get it. Oh, wait. Sorry. Yes, I get it.
Come on.
Yeah.
Do you have anything for me?
So I actually have a joke for you as well.
Okay.
Did you know that diarrhea was hereditary?
No, I didn't.
It runs in your genes. So funny.
So we'll just kind of go off that.
Okay.
I will say that this episode had some humor. We knew it was coming, that Joel and Ellie were hopefully going to be warming up to each other. And that definitely happened in this episode. I feel like that was it was heavily focused on Joel and Ellie building a stronger bond.
Yeah, kind of surprising how some dumb dad joke puns could really strengthen the bond and really make you buy into it as well.
Right.
I feel like. So I think they did a good job establishing their relationship and furthering their dynamic through those puns. So very clever way to do it.
I was honestly surprised that it didn't annoy me.
Yeah.
But I when they kept doing the little jokes or whatever, because she had her little joke book. I was genuinely laughing. So there were some good ones for sure.
Well, let me ask you a question, because you did not like Ellie when you first met her. Is she growing on you at all?
I would say yeah. I would say yeah.
Yeah.
I still don't love her, but she's growing on me.
Yeah. I think she's becoming. In the beginning, she definitely wasn't very likable, but I think that, through Joel and just her need to be protected, I think, through him.
Yeah.
And feel safe, I think she is becoming a little bit endearing and more likable for sure.
Yeah. So, in this episode, it kind of just picks up with them on the road in their truck that they, got from Bill and Frank.
Yeah.
And, again, like I said, you see just some bonding between them, kind of Joel, Ellie being very inquisitive, asking a lot of questions about Joel's past, and just, she's a 14-year-old who has a lot of questions about things, and, he's kind of reluctantly answering them, kind of still annoyed by her a little bit, but you can tell that he's kind of softening a little bit, especially after the jokes.
Yeah. He's still very closed off.
Yeah.
When it comes to Ellie and sharing his past, I think that a lot of that's because he's trying to protect her, protect what her innocence, I guess, in a sense.
Right. Yeah.
Doesn't want her to understand all of the bad things that he's done in the past.
Yeah, and I'm sure too he's feeling a lot of pressure to just keep her safe and get her to where she needs to be.
Yeah.
And so, also in this episode, they really just got the truck and they've already lost it.
They have already lost it. I was a little disappointed in that. I was like, we just had an entire, episode about getting a truck, and they told a beautiful love story through that.
Yeah.
And we've already lost it. So it kind of feels like it was for nothing.
Basically, they get to
I guess they got them to that point. We don't know how long they were traveling. It could have been days or weeks. I don't know. I'm assuming it was probably over 3 or 4 days maybe. So I guess they got some ground with it.
Yeah, for sure. I know that it showed that they were in Kansas.
Yeah, Kansas.
And so
I, I
where
think they're
were
in.
they?
I think they got to Kansas City,
Mm-hmm.
maybe, which is in Missouri. Did they say they were in Kansas?
Oh,
Like
okay.
the actual state Kansas, or did they say Kansas City? Because in the after credits that we were watching, they said they were in Kansas City, I think.
Okay. Maybe I
Um,
misunderstood. So, we get the scene to where they're traveling the interstate,
yeah,
or what used to be the interstate. And so they get to an exit that or they are on the interstate. I don't guess it's an exit, but they get to a part where they can't get past it. It's completely, blocked off by old cars that are broken down, and there's no way that they're going to move it. Like, there's a big semi blocking it.
yeah,
And there's they just can't get past it. But luckily, they have to take kind of a longer route to get around it. And then that's where they, of course, get into some trouble. And so they have to drive like into the city. And, that's where we're introduced to this whole new group of people.
yeah. And I'm pretty sure that it's a group of people that are probably like the
Uh
Fireflies,
huh.
like trying to start a revolution against that. I forget what they call them, the Federation or something.
Yeah,
There's another name
I
for
can't
it,
remember.
but it's the people that are basically like holding everybody down and stuff, and
Yeah. So,
oppressing everybody in this world. So
yeah.
their group, I guess, took over this city, this quarantine zone,
Mm-hmm.
and now they run it. So they basically, see Joel and Ellie coming in, and they set a trap for them, and Joel knows it's a trap, and then they get into a gunfight between them,
Yeah,
and
I mean, it was a pretty intense scene.
yep.
That this is where Joel wrecks the truck, and there's a shootout going on, and he kind of has to have Ellie go hide while he takes care of it. And
Yeah,
then,
again, kind of going into the theme of the episode, which is kind of, protecting her innocence. He doesn't
mhm,
want her to watch what happens, but, he gets into trouble, and then she has to come out and eventually use the gun that she stole from Bill and them
right, like
in the last
he's
episode.
been very adamant about not giving her a gun, and in the last episode we saw where she took one without him knowing, and it came in handy. It saved his life. So
Yeah.
they kind of had this moment to where he was like, I'm not happy that you did that, but also like, thanks for saving my life, kind of
Yeah.
thing. So
Yeah, and I think he's gonna kind of come to grips with the fact that he can't
need her
protect her
help,
forever.
and
Like they're gonna have to start working together, and he's gonna have to
right,
trust her in a sense too if they're gonna make it through this, especially the next episode because we do leave off on kind of a cliffhanger
yeah,
with the end of it. But we're introduced to some new characters in this
mm-hmm,
episode,
yeah,
Kathleen and Henry,
mm-hmm,
which is the guy at the very end that's holding the gun on him. That's who Kathleen's looking for in this episode. So I
with the
guess
son,
with his son. So I
yeah,
guess that will be more introduced to him the next episode. Maybe him and Joel are going to team up to try to take Kathleen down or something, is what I'm speculating. Again, I
yeah.
don't know anything about these characters in the game. So
So for Kathleen, what is her name?
I cannot remember the actress name, but she was in a show we watched recently,
Yeah,
right?
Candy.
Was it Candy with Jessica Biel?
Yeah, I mean, she's definitely been in some stuff. Yeah, she was in Candy, and she was great in that. And I will say, though, so far, with just the little bit that we know about her character, again, not having played the game or anything, I'm assuming she's a character in the game. I don't know.
Well, they kind of, in the whole after credits thing, they kind of pretty much play it off like these are characters in the game, but we don't really focus on fleshing out their stories. So I don't know if she is an actual like character in the game or if this is something that they're adding into the show.
Gotcha.
You would have to let us know in the comments section if you know anything
Yeah.
else about it. But
as far as her character goes, it does kind of annoy me to have like this, like she's obviously the leader of this group.
yeah,
And it kind of annoyed, like not even being like
she's supposed to be this like big badass and stuff too. So.
yeah, but I feel like they're kind of playing it like she's kind of irrational and kind of acts on her emotions and stuff.
Yeah, she did walk back in and shoot that guy in the head.
She seems a little hot-headed.
I'll say that I did not like her character all that much.
I mean, we're not supposed to, right?
I guess like she's kind of playing it to where she could be sympathetic because I'm guessing she's lost somebody in
Right.
her
She's
past.
looking
She's
for
lost her
her
brother, right?
brother. Yeah. So
Well, no, I
Joel's.
think her brother died. I think it's they killed him. I think Henry
Oh,
has
that's
something.
right. That's right.
Henry has something to do with it, and that other guy that she had. So
Because she said that she was talking to the doctor and was like, my brother was beat to death in this cell.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I don't know if she's like supposed to be a full-on villain or we supposed to sympathize her, but at the same time, like she sent all these people out, and Joel and Ellie killed 3 of her people, so you know she's not going to have any mercy for them.
And it's
when
kind
she
of one
finally
of
gets
these
them.
like misunderstandings to where she thinks that without knowing who Joel and Ellie are or anything, she thinks that her people being killed has something to do with other people.
Yeah.
And so she, hot-headedly goes in and ends up killing the doctor. And I'm like, that's just not very smart because you would think you'd really want to have a doctor in your little community.
It came off as stupid, and also it just came off like they were trying to make her seem like a real badass, and I did not buy it. I didn't. She gave like a speech to her people, and I'm like, I do not buy you
right
as the leader of all these men. Like,
right.
I don't buy that you would get by on that with just your authority.
Yeah.
I didn't buy into her character. I didn't think the performance was necessarily all that great. So I'm not on board with Kathleen as a character at this point.
Yeah, and we also get introduced to kind of her like little right-hand man.
Yeah, who was supposedly a character in the video game. He played Joel's brother Tommy. Apparently, there's a few, I think there's a few voice actors from the game that are playing, smaller parts throughout the show. But I don't know. This was there was definitely some action in this episode for sure, but it was also
a slower
kind of felt a
episode.
little slow.
Yeah, for sure.
Through most of it, it was only 50 minutes. I know it did a lot to further establish, Joel and Ellie's relationship and stuff, and then they got them in this, bind in the city, and it ended on a cliffhanger. So we're definitely excited to check out next week's episode. Next week's episode looks like it is going to be that action-packed episode. And
yeah.
Bringing in the, I don't want to call them zombies, but the mushroom fungus people, whatever you want to call
clickers
them. Clickers. Looks like we're going to have, because we didn't have any of those this episode.
We didn't.
No, and I don't think we had any zombie action last episode either, did we? Maybe a little bit.
I don't know.
I don't think we did, because there was people that came into Bill's community, but there was no.
I don't think we did.
So we've gone 2 episodes without any of the actual clickers. I mean, there was that one Ellie found that she kind of sliced his face.
Okay, so that's wrong then.
And whatever.
That counts.
So yeah, hopefully next week is balls to the wall, action, zombie action.
We're going to be, halfway through?
Yeah, we'll be halfway through. And this week's episode is going to be on Friday because of the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
They pushed it back. So
yeah,
we'll have more time to watch it. But I guess we can watch it Friday or Saturday night, possibly.
Yeah. So what are you going to give this episode?
I would give this episode, are we rating out of 10 or out of 4 or out of 5?
Let's just do out of 5.
Okay, I'll give this episode a 4.
Okay.
A 4 out of a 5. Still a really solid episode of television, but not the best, I don't think. Definitely not the best episode of season. Honestly, I would probably say it's the worst episode that I've seen so far.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
Probably my least favorite.
Yeah, I'd probably give it a 4 out of 5 as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're on the same page. So that's always a good thing. We can be on the same page.
It is.
But we appreciate you watching our review of episode 4 of The Last of Us. Please hold to my hand. So if you have any comments on the episode, any thoughts, any good puns as well, you can leave those in the comment section as well. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications. Follow us on all our social media accounts down below, and we'll see you guys later.
Bye, guys.